Today I wanted to talk to you about some crazy methods, maybe a little bit toxic ways that you can develop insane self-control, discipline, and ultimately stand on business in 2024. By the way, if you want more content from me, you want to join our amazing community, get free coaching, courses, etc., all included, starting from only $7 a month, join Triple S Society, our amazing community. Okay, so I often get the question, Simone, like, I'm so undisciplined, I can't be disciplined. How can I force myself to have self-control and to be disciplined? Here's the thing, okay? There is a few reasons why you procrastinate and why you lack discipline. Number one, the most common reason why people procrastinate, it is because number one, they're afraid of failure. Two, they're afraid of the truth. Or three, they just simply don't want to do it. We'll go more into these ideas in depth in a little bit, but to complete my list, you may also lack a lot of discipline if you simply don't like what you're pursuing. When you like something, naturally you're going to want to do it. Even if it's difficult, you'll find it a lot easier. You're not going to have to DM a stranger on the internet. How can I force myself to be disciplined? It shouldn't be that tricky. And I actually said this in a coaching call last week, but you guys, sometimes, yes, in life, we're going to have to force ourselves to do the things we don't want to do. But if you're pursuing something that's going to be lasting a long time, like a career, you struggle to wake up and go to work and enjoy your job, think about if you're in the right career, because you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life. Likewise with a business. If you're forcing yourself to have to work on it, maybe it's not the one for you. It will also be actually a lot more difficult for you to make money with that business because you don't like it, you don't enjoy doing it. I know some of you want to like my biz law and we can go into that in Triple S, but I'll give you like a little bit. When I was 17, I actually discovered dropshipping. So yeah, dropshipping is like, it's overdone, everyone does it now. But yeah, I was 17. It wasn't that popular at the time. So basically my stores took off really quickly and I sold them within a year. But anyways, when I first discovered the model, I remember I was like, damn, I can do this. And I became passionate. So my routine was I would wake up at like 7 a.m. and from 7 a.m. to literally 11 p.m. at night, I would work on the business. And then 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., this was my daily routine for about 2 months. 11 to 2 p.m. I would binge watch every single YouTuber's dropshipping videos. And at the time, there were only like maybe 10 creators who were making great videos. So I would watch them constantly. So you see, I was passionate about that. Guys, could you tell 2024 Simone, hey, like, go do that same routine? I'm not going to do it. I have no passion. I don't want to do it. Also, I'm more financially secure. I don't need to do it now. So that can go into something else. You have no motivating force behind it. For example, you're in a very like cushiony job right now. You don't really need to get a side hustle. You might hate your job, but there's no like debt collector knocking at your door. There's no like extreme bills to be paid. You don't have subconscious pressure to actually be disciplined. That also can be a reason why you're not pushing yourself, because you don't actually need to be disciplined and you feel too safe. There were so many situations in my life where I wasn't pushing myself hard enough because at the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, you have like your assets, your savings, like you built yourself up, you don't really need to do this. I didn't feel that pressing force. This can lead to another point. Personally, I have crazy self-control and I absolutely stand on business, especially when it comes to dating. By the way, it's Triple S dating month right now and I just released the data collection video on my main YouTube channel. But I stand on business and cut people off so quickly because I've learned from the past mistakes in my relationship and I no way in hell want to repeat them because I knew the effects that had on me then. And I'm so scared of that repeating that I would do anything for it to never ever happen again. Naturally, I think if you hit rock bottom, you will start to develop discipline because A, you have to, B, in the future, you're going to be so scared of hitting that rock bottom again, you will do anything to not do it. For example, maybe you had like terrible spending habits, you let yourself go broke, maybe homeless at one stage. You probably, if you're smart, you're not going to let that happen again. Maybe you start to make money again. You're like, okay, this time I'm going to put some into savings, some into investment. I'm not going to go crazy because I don't want to make the mistake I did last time. Like, you'll actually be smart about it. So like, yeah, toxic hack, hit rock bottom to get discipline. I'm kidding, don't do that. But really, guys, ask yourself, like, what is my passion? And this thing that I'm so called passionate about, if I need to work this hard to have self-control, to have discipline, is it really my passion? Do I really like it that much? Life is too short to just go after things that you have to force yourself to do. There have been so many like business opportunities for me that I've said no to, which could have like just printed me money. purely because of the fact I'm like, I'm not passionate about it. I know I'm not going to be disciplined as well because I have no passion for it. If you guys feel like you really struggle with discipline and motivation, etc., and that you need someone to help guide you through it, consider therapy. As you guys know, huge advocate for it. I've used BetterHelp for years. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. By the way, if you can't afford therapy, BetterHelp does have financial aid available. So your therapist can really help you find the root issue about why you don't have any motivation or discipline. Like maybe it's ADHD. Maybe it's because of like personal problems that you need help getting through. We'll go into that later. Maybe it's because of your procrastination issues. What is the underlying root? Like we have to address that. Your therapist can help you with that. BetterHelp will connect you to a licensed therapist who is trained to listen to you and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be really hard, and finding the right therapist is also extremely difficult. I say therapy is like dating. Your first therapist, it's very hit or miss. You might have to shop around to see which one fits you, which is why at BetterHelp, changing therapy is actually free of charge, while if you go in person, it's not. And it's super easy to get started. All you need to do is fill out a questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with one of the 30,000 licensed therapists within 48 hours usually. And then you'll be able to schedule sessions via video call. You can message them at any time. You can even phone call them, whatever is the most convenient for you. So people spend hours in the gym working on themselves. Why don't you spend hours working on your mind? So join over 4 million people using BetterHelp today, and you can use my link to get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp today. If you guys know, when I was in high school, I was heavily in like that tech world. Dude, I was going to school full time and then working with America at nighttime. And I was like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single night. I loved to do it. Lunch and recess, I was on my laptop. I loved to do it. You cannot get me to do that now. No passion. There's no passion in it. And like besides passion, you just have to have like interest. If you just do something purely for the money, you're gonna find it really difficult to generate that passion and interest within you. I think money is not a huge driving factor unless you're actually starving, unless you immediately need the funds, unless you're about to be homeless, but like some severe consequences that force you to get into survival mode and figure out how to make money. Another reason why you probably struggle with discipline is your dopamine is just messed up. So dopamine is that little hit, with that little positive high we get every single time, you know, we pick up our phone, we get a notification, you hit that vape, you get a dopamine hit. You eat that piece of candy, you get a dopamine hit. Because of like modern technology, social media, very cheap and easy to access dopamine, modern day people, their dopamines are just all over the place. And I've talked about dopamine resets in my old videos on my main channel, but you can absolutely reset your dopamine. However, it might take a little bit of time. So one thing I can recommend to you, we can do the extreme dopamine fast. Go 30 days, no technology. Like you use your laptop, but don't have social media. Don't listen to music. Don't eat interesting foods. Eat very bland foods. Potato, rice, no seasoning. Just drink water, no coffee. Anything that's gonna give you a cheap dopamine hit, you basically wanna get rid of it. No reading, no watching movies. You're just gonna live as if you're in the old ages. You have no access to anything apart from your basic necessities and of course the things you need to work. That will reset your dopamine. Your brain's gonna get so freaking bored, it's gonna go back to normal. And I've done it before, and it truly felt like my brain just like woke up suddenly. I noticed when I go off social media for a few days, I stop consuming music. My brain is very, very different, and how I perceive the world also changes because there are so many subconscious effects of music and social media in the first place. Now, 30 days is quite extreme, so you can also do just a weekend. I like to do this once a month on a Saturday and Sunday. Exactly the same thing. I do no music, I do no watching, nothing. I'll even get rid of my laptop if I don't have to work. It's literally me in the world with my dog, in nature, maybe, ideally. Bored until my brain finds this new way of living interesting. And then once you've done your 2 days, maybe you want to do a 7-day, and then you want to do a 30-day, and then maybe you want to incorporate this into your life. Because what happens is you start to feel so good about your new state of being, you just want to do it more. And then once you go back to your old ways, you'll feel a stark difference, number one. Number two, you're going to feel bad. You're going to go, and you will want to go back to the old way of being. So if you didn't pick up in that integration, hopefully you didn't skip that. In the integration, I also said, a reason you might be procrastinating and you have no self-control, yes, it can be ADHD, you have some issues. ADHD ultimately is linked to some dopamine issues. So I recommend you do your dopamine fast, But if you have a terrible home life, or you're really emotionally unstable, or you just have major fears over life, which will lead into procrastination, these are also major reasons why you can't do anything. For example, if you guys watched my video where I explained what happened to me last year, I was debilitated. You might have thought, like, what happened to my mother and my YouTube channel? It would have driven me to like work harder, and I tried, but it did the opposite. I procrastinated, I was debilitated, and I was sleeping in my bed every day, all day. Because number one, I was depressed, so you might be depressed. Two, I think when there's so much pressure on ourselves, instead of kicking into survival mode, sometimes the opposite can happen and we just go into I want to fucking die mode. And that's when you might actually need someone to help you and get some external guidance. But what really helped me was shadow work and just small baby steps. So here's another thing, the polar opposite of toxic advice. Be easier on yourself. You don't need to do everything right now. I'm so chill, truly. I'm not that hard on myself anymore, because number one, I believe in like the process of my life. I believe in divine timing, manifestation, God, whatever. And I know that everything will work out as long as I make baby steps every day to where I want to go. I'm doing well. I don't need to be a billionaire by tomorrow. I've got my whole life to do that. I've got my whole life to achieve whatever I want. Just be easier on yourself. Like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Nothing is real online. You don't know what people are going through. Like, people were like, oh, Simone, you're always like traveling the world, like wearing like nice clothes, you live such a good life. And then I released that video on my main channel and people were like, wow, I had no idea what was going on with you. So it just goes to show, don't compare yourself again. Anyways, I want to end with an insane regimen you can implement. Okay, if I was completely messed up dopamine wise, this is what I would do. Okay, I would wake up at a really uncomfortable time, 5 a.m. Make it a 30-day challenge. I would wake up 5 a.m. every day. Then I would go dunk myself in a freezing cold bath or icy cold shower. I would have no caffeine, chug 1 liter of water, go for a run. I hate running. Do something you hate in the morning. No music. I would eat the most basic, boring, bland food. And also I would implement meditation. Meditation will help your dopamine levels again. It obviously forces you to focus. So you can do a flame meditation. Aaron Doughty allegedly said he cured his ADHD by doing this. You can go look up that video, but he would just stare into it. He would stare into the flame every single day for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And when you stare into that flame, you clear all your thoughts and you focus. For me in meditation, when it gets to the 20-minute part, that is when I almost get like downloads, where I feel like my mind clear and I access like a whole other state of being. Focus on your health. Again, if you have underlying health issues, mental and physical, this will affect your body. Now in Triple S, I think in April, we're going to be talking about how you can biohack. So definitely join for then. And next month is actually Biz Month on Triple S. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you got some knowledge out of this video. Go subscribe to the vlog channel. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you very, very shortly. So thank you so much for joining. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time on my channel.